So I was just writing down what while you were saying, Rita, because it's good to know specifically. So I don't know. I don't know what happened yesterday because usually I order and I have never a problem, but for
No,
some
but
reason,
I think they were probably thinking, because if you really want the ham, that's quite a big piece. So they probably thought, because hardly anybody orders a big piece like that.
yeah, but I'll do it via my catering, so it's
Ah, okay.
it's not.
Ah, no, no.
I order several things at the same time, so it was not like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyways, so let me go back. Uh, ooh, share screen. But I will add those details to the presentation before I'll send it to you. So indeed, for the Venezuelan one, the one that Rita mentioned, that it has that layer of fat but is more lean, that's something that I could see people eating it not just for Christmas, because usually these recipes are for Christmas time, but you can do it at any moment, to be honest. And if you can graduate the ingredients, you can do it for two people. So now that I have Rita then here, what would be, so one, it's I get confused with the shoulder, and the other one is the leg of the shoulder. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the left one, the shoulder, uh, I think I would use that, because that has the meat is less dry. It has a bit of fat. I think that one doesn't have bone, but at the butcher you can also ask it with a bone.
Yeah.
And this they sell as a roast, so a gebraad. But I would never do that as a gebraad, because no. And you will often see it in slices as well. And then it's called a spearing cotelet.
Ah, yes, I've seen that.
So a chop, a shoulder chop, in fact.
Okay.
And then the lage rib is that's also yeah, you could use that also, I think, because it's also it's tender,
Hmm.
a little bit less fat than the shoulder. And if I do pork chops, I usually take lage rib, because it's tender and has a little bit of fat. Where if you take the filet cotelet, it's for me it's too dry.
Yeah, I've noticed that. That
Yeah.
here is very dry. All right. Well, that's good to know the difference, because it was a lot of trial and error for my side. So I found here all the words in here in Belgium, I think. So next time I make sure that I do not get again the hook. That's what I get, the hook leg.
Yeah.
As that's not what, at least for these recipes, that's not what you want. What I did take this time is the tenderloin and the scalder, so the shoulder, like we just saw in the picture before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a few tips from my side. It's better to use fresh garlic. You can always use dry garlic, but fresh garlic, I don't know, it gives an extra taste. And a rule of thumb is that you take 1.5 cloves per pound. So per every 500 grams, you take 1 clove or 1.5, depending on how big they are or how small they are. Another rule is for every 20, so you cook the meat 25 minutes per pound in a low heat. I think pork should be, you need to have time to do it. I've done it in a fast way and I've not been so happy than when I take the time to do it in low, at least for these recipes. Like I said before, you prepare the meat the day up front, and you can be creative with your own herbs. And sometimes Latinos in general, you get a recipe, but your hand is something different because you will always put something different. Like cumin, extra garlic, paprika, chili powder, pili pili, what you find here also, sage, rosemary, cayenne, thyme, coriander, brown sugar. Sometimes people add brown sugar, or even cloves. So these are like a few things that I put together from the top of my head. Now, the Cochinita Pibil, it's a Yucatan recipe, the one that we're following. I even included the link because in the link, I found it nice that you can arrange it to the number of people. So it will tell you how many ingredients you can do. But for this one, the main thing is the achiote. I don't know if you know what is achiote paste. Are you aware of?
No.
Have you? Do you guys heard about achiote before?
No.
Okay, I will show you in a minute. So here you have the ingredients that I will share with you in instructions. And this is the whole instructions, but today we're just gonna do the marinade of the pork. I also included a link for the Venezuelan roast recipe. And as you can see from the picture, that's why, you know, the one with less fat, maybe it's a good one for the Venezuelan version. And last but not least, my favorite, I don't know, I'm Venezuelan, but I really love the Puerto Rican pernil. It is melting in the mouth. I don't know what it is. It's maybe the Caribbean. I have no idea, but for me, it's the best thing ever.
I also agree.
You better. And it is so good. And whatever they do as adobo or mojo, what they called mojo is just garlic and oil, and you put it over the meat after it's done. And what you see golden is really the fat. So for the Puerto Rican, I think you do really need that. For the Venezuelan, many recipes, you do need that golden thing, but it depends again on the taste. At least that's more giving that you can also have it a bit more lean. But for the Puerto Rican, you can't, you know, once a year, it's not bad, right? And then as well, I added the things that I will share you via email. Any questions so far? Okay.
Yeah, I have a question. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead, Carolyn.
No, I just said I'm getting hungry because it's already 6 o'clock in the evening. So
Ooh, yes.
when I see
Is
all
that
that
sauce
meat,
like a chipotle sauce? That one you were talking about? Chipotle? No?
No, achiote. Chipotle is a type of, well, no, I wouldn't say jalapeno, but it's a kind of ají. It's some kind of a family of the paprika. It's like a big, you know, between the paprika and chili. It's nothing to do with achiote. Achiote is actually coming from a seed. And I have it here ready because I knew that probably people would ask. So achiote comes from, or they call it anoto or noto. There are several names, and you find it in the Asian stores. They come like in a little bag or a box, and this is the original how they look like. It's like little seeds.
Okay.
And then in Latin American culture, you use this a lot. You put it like in oil and you cook it, and that's how you make the oil orangey like. Oh, and I forgot to mention I found on the internet, if you don't have achiote, how to make something that would make at least something similar. It would not be the same, but it's like a replacement kind of thing. It will be also in your recipes. So this is like important thing to make your rice golden, orangey kind of color. It's like paprika, but it's not paprika because it definitely has a different taste. What I found recently in a store is this one. I don't know, it's the best close thing to the original. I think this is from, it's an Asian kind of thing. I don't know from where it is. Philippines. They also use that a lot. It's also from the same seeds, but for me, it's not quite the same. But it could, do the trick, you would say. In this one, you can easily find. But the one that it's more original, this was given to me by a Mexican friend. I was worried that the order was not gonna get on. I could probably also add the link of a few international where you can order it online. Yeah, you want that? I see Lauren saying, please.
But they don't have it like at Sunwa or something like that?
This one I haven't seen in Belgium yet, no.
Mhm.
And the one that I put in the presentation that is like a lady, that's really like the Mexican. You have the Goya, which is the Puerto Rican version. They have like a little box, and it's, I should say it from the United States, actually, because Goya Sazon is from the United States. I've seen Goya in powder, but I keep asking the guy, like, can you please get me like the paste? And he's like, I don't have that. I don't know. I know from in Holland, I will put you the link where you can order it online.
Ariana, I'm sorry. I just remember, I've never made achiote myself, but I remember my grandmother always using achiote. It gives it such, the rice and the food, such a nice color, and the taste also, it's really authentic. I just wanted to add that. So
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, I saw, maybe I can share that too. I saw a video yesterday on how they do, it's in Spanish though, how they do it from scratch is a lot of work.
Yes.
Because they get the like kilos of these seeds and then boil it or in oil or in water. I think it's in water. And then they have to drain it, and then they have to wait until it's like a paste, I don't know, and they add other stuff to it. So this is not just the achiote itself. It's not like you get the achiote and you grain it. I thought I could do that, but no. It's a whole process, and so it has a lot of condiments within this paste that you see, and it's really, so this one, it's more yellowish. This is more reddish. This is more like a powder, like paprika powder, and this is really like a paste.
Is it hot?
No,
No?
no. To make it spicy, you have to add spices.
Okay.
So if we use this achiote paste, you don't do the marinade that you described for the Puerto Rican recipe.
Yes. No, this is not Puerto Rican. This is for the Mexican one.
Ah, okay. Oh, sorry, I was with the wrong recipe.
The paste.
Ariadna,
Yes.
oh, I put a link in the chat. There's this really cute young guy that has a spice online thing in Belgium, and they have
Oh,
it.
that's nice to know.
He's a really nice guy. I've ordered stuff from him before.
And can you find also Mexican stuff in there? Pimento.
Yeah, he has Mexican achiote pasta.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll definitely.
Probably not cheap. I mean, it's not cheap, but
No, it is not cheap. I've
No.
saw the one like this. It's like €7, I think.
yeah, his is $4.45 for 100 grams. So
Oh, so this size. This is 100 grams, $4.45. That's a good price.
yeah, okay.
I have a
I put it
question,
in.
Ariana. I am from Ecuador and I know achiote, but I don't know the pasta how to use. And I have here in my kitchen, but it's really hard. How can I make?
We will be doing that in a bit. I don't know what do you do for Ecuadorian? I'll definitely, because it's so good.
Yes. I
don't use
the potatoes. I put in rice and for the soup. So for us, it's everyday cooking ingredient.
Because I don't find this one everywhere. I got this, I don't know, maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
And I keep it just for my Cochinita Pibil. Potatoes and everything else, then I'll take paprika or do, or even I take the Asians ones are easier to find. But this one that is so special, just use it for your special things, I think. But I will definitely show you. It's really simple. It's really simple to do. You do it in a mixer together with whatever you want to marinate it with. And it's easier to do rather than with your hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. That was that. Let me see if in the other side of the table you will see me. Is that okay? Yeah.
Yes.
Still, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I will leave the Cochinita Pibil for last because that's the most messy one because of the achiote. So I'm going to start with the, let me see, maybe with the Venezuelan one, maybe with the Puerto Rican one. So for the Puerto Rican one, I had the shoulder, like Rita said. And so today we're just going to prepare the meat.
Oh, what's that, Jan?
So I have here the meat. And maybe you don't see it. Let me just, can you see the meat actually?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what you always do before anything, you make holes in the meat in order to the seasoning to go through.
Actually, Ariana, please, I need to interrupt. Can you tilt your screen down because so we can see the rest of the table?
Okay, one second. Like that?
Yes, much better.
But which
Perfect,
way?
right there.
I'm trying to see. There. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great, thank you. Ariana, which one are you making right now?
The Puerto Rican one.
Okay. And is that one, looks like it's two things, like it's two
Yeah.
pieces of meat.
Yes, because I wanted to make almost 3 kilos.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is 2 pieces.
Okay.
If I turn it around, maybe you can see. For the spitting, I put it all together. You can see you can see the mixture. So I had it all prepared. I have, it says 2 onions. Was it 1 big red onion, but mine were really tiny. So that's why I have 3 here. And the garlic that you have in the recipe. Running that. You have the oregano. I don't have the recipes in my hand, but I know I'm adding something extra, which is the cumin. In the recipe is no cumin, but I like it to add the cumin in this one. And this one is a little bit extra also is garlic powder. No, not sorry, onion powder. Just onion, white onion. So it's cumin, onion, and oregano. The oregano is the same like in the recipe. The onion powder is about 1 spoon and the cumin is like half a spoon. I'm adding that. And also in the recipe was garlic powder and salt. That's what I'm adding. In the recipe, you had a little bit of oil. And you had lemon juice extract, this is an extract. You can use also fresh. If you can do fresh lemon, that will be best. For the Puerto Ricans, what I see is that they do a lot of garlic, more than any other recipe. So the more garlic you do, if you like garlic and you have no problem with it, strong taste, the best. Trying to see if my cable get here. So I'm just gonna mix that. So that's more or less how it looks. Okay. So now I'm gonna do what I was telling you at the beginning. You maybe turn it upside down. so you can see it better. One thing I didn't do this time, which normally I would do if I would have fresh lime, I will brush the lime over it. Why? No clue. It's a tradition. I don't know. Maybe because it makes it clean. I think what my mom used to say is that you clean the meat first, and that's why you wash the meat, you dry it, and then you pass the lime over it. So what I'm trying to do is holes that you can actually put your fingers through. And the reason is so that the seasoning can go in it. Do you guys do that for your meat?
No.
Okay, so then it's a trick.
So Ariana, what part of the pork are you using right now?
This is the shoulder.
That's the shoulder.
Yeah, the one that you said that from the left pictures, remember?
Yeah.
So this doesn't have a lot of fat, but it's still, I think should be still okay. They love pork at my house, so. So as you can see, I can literally pull my fingers in. In this recipe that I'm sharing, the lady did the garlic separately in oil, I think, or without oil, I'm not sure. And she rubs the pork with the garlic first, leave it for 3 hours, and then come back with the whole seasoning. Okay. Lorraine, do you also do holes in your meat?
Lorraine is on the phone, I think.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so the idea is that you can really go deep in, and especially if you have bones, you need to go all the way to your bone. But right now I don't have any bone, so it's kind of gonna go through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put under a bit, but we're gonna rub this mixture. Any questions?
So you can use all of the marinade, because in the recipe I see it says only 1 tablespoon. That doesn't seem a lot.
For what? 1 tablespoon for what, sweetie?
Yeah, 1 tablespoon, you know, for the whole 4 pounds of pork.
1 tablespoon of marinade. No,
Yeah.
no. You mean on the top?
Yeah, I don't know.
What you see is actually what they do over the meat constantly while you're cooking it. When I send you the instructions, it will make sense.
Ah, okay.
But this is, yeah. So this is ready, and then I cover it and I leave it in the fridge for a day. And then whenever I'm gonna put it in the oven, I'll do it in a really low heat for Most likely this is 3 kilos, 6 hours, I would say. Okay.
And do you cover it in the oven or?
Yes, you first cover it for the majority of the time, and only at the end you uncover it to make it like golden color.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one went really fast because usually you have to cut where the fat is, and then put the garlic in between, and then rub it, and then the fat you have to cut it like in diagonal ways, so it can really be cooked thoroughly. Let me just give a quick glimpse to that. I'll come back. You can talk now.
Wait, so did she just put whole garlic cloves on that, or what'd she do?
No, she said other recipes. Sometimes, you know, you have to cut the meat to
Yeah.
the bone and then put the garlic cloves there, and
But
then
did she just do that? Did she stick garlic down in those holes?
no, just
What
the,
was she doing? She
uh,
just did something with garlic.
Adriana.
I think she said other recipes do
Oh,
that.
okay.
But I don't think she did.
Mhm.
I think it was just the marinade she was pushing into the hole.
Oh, okay.
I think that.
Or did she do the garlic and then the marinade in? That's what I was curious, because I know sometimes when you do barbecue, you stuff the garlic, like a piece of garlic that's been cut to get the oil from the garlic, and then you put the marinade in.
I don't know. Rewind.
I think it depends on how much you like garlic.
Yes, questions?
Did you slice and put the garlic in the meat and then the marinade, or did you put the marinade in the meat, or did you put the garlic in the meat and then the marinade over top?
The garlic, I put it all in the mixer, but some people like it to cut the garlic in little pieces and then rub it, like have it like an oil and garlic, and then with the salt, and then rub the meat with it, and then the rest in the mixer. Right now, for simplicity, I just put it all together in the mixer. It's just an extra step that I make my life easier in the mixer. And I don't have the, if I would have that fat that is usually like 2 centimeters thick or 1 centimeter thick, I would have done that for sure. Okay. We ready with this one? Now the Venezuelan one. What I'm doing is part of that same meat, and the one that the picture that I showed you that from this special meat, as you can see, is lean, but it has like a little layer of fat. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing both in the same thing. I think it will fit. Yeah. And I will do the same as well and make holes on it. So this one was 2 onions. I don't think this is gonna fit. Let me go and get something. It's gonna be too small.
Is this the Venezuelan one?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So again, you can divide the ingredients to the number of people in your house. Okay. And then the garlic, like you see, I didn't cut or anything, I just put it in. This is for later. The bay leaf is for later. So it's the oregano and marjoram, I believe so. This recipe, they added for the sauce moscatel, which I never use moscatel, so. But that's for the sauce afterwards. It's like when you do a meat and then you want to do the gravy. What I have here is the wine vinegar. The oil, 1/2 cup. Orange juice. Two cups. And this is the secret ingredient for Venezuelan recipes is the Worcester sauce. It's always like the secret kind of thing. And sometimes they even use bitter angostura, which is usually kind of a bitter thing that you use for cocktails, that they also like to use it in the kitchen. Worcester sauce and bitter angostura is what usually they do. I don't have bitter angostura right now. Worcester sauce is, I don't know why, if it's an English influence in our kitchen, maybe, I don't know. So this will be more liquid than the one before.
Where do you find your Worcestershire sauce?
Well, here they have it in the supermarkets. It's difficult to find because it's not visible, but you have to really go through the sauce aisles. Rita, I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, and it's usually very small bottles. You find it with the spices and things like that.
Oh, thank you, because I've been looking for it for months.
Yeah, if you go where what is it called? The jalapeno sauce, I think is what it's called.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
It's like a little bottle.
Yes.
I think you can even find it in smaller sizes.
Ariadna, how much garlic did you use? Because this recipe here says 17. Is that a typo or?
Yeah, I do have 13 garlic cloves. But again, garlic in Latin American recipes, you can always go down if you don't like so much garlic.
No, I do like garlic, but I thought 17 was a lot.
Yeah, and I know that the garlic in Venezuela is very small. So, you know, you can consider one head per two, right?
Yeah.
So you have to take in mind, if you have a bag, if you have like a plastic bag that you can keep it inside, I think it's even better. And then you leave it marinated with that sauce in the bag. So here there's no rubbing needed because it's swimming in the in the sauce. And this one you will do when you put it in the oven, the bay leaves, the salt and the pepper. So that's for later, whenever you're gonna put it by the oven. Any question for that one? I will clean this one real quick. So the most fantastic one, which I find.
Ariadna, is this
yes.
also a 24-hour minimum marinade on this thing?
I will, some recipes say that you can leave it for 4 or 5 hours before you cook it. I will
Okay.
definitely suggest to do it a day, minimum a day up front.
Also for the Venezuelan one.
Yeah,
So at least 24 hours.
at least 24 hours.
Okay.
The Mexican one, I'm gonna do it in my crock pot. So I'm not gonna wait. I'm just gonna leave it marinated for a few hours. But I'm gonna prepare it in my crock pot thing. So if you go to the Asian store, you get these banana leaves in a frozen bag. And then the only thing that you have to do in order to make it so dark is that you pass it through. So let's say this is your fire. You pass it through the fire. It will not get burned. It will just start smelling a bit. Smoky smell. So what the banana leaves does is give you a smoky smell.
Ariadna.
Yeah.
I have an induction.
So have I.
Do I do it in the oven or?
Yes, and so in the recipe, it's also stated that you can do it also in the oven in a, like if you're gonna roast something.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna prepare my thing, like to put it on the bottom part. Just make sure that it's not completely broken. It can easily broke because, you know, they're leaves. And the idea is that you're gonna wrap the meat with this banana leaves. I'm just preparing it and I'm leaving a few for on the top. Okay. So for the Mexican one, I'm doing I forgot the name already. Let's see who paid attention. What is this meat?
Arkansas.
Yeah. Sorry, let me close here. So for this one, I'm not gonna make holes. I'm just gonna cut them in little things. And because it's gonna be slow cooked, you don't have to really pull it. If you do it the right way with the right temperature, as long as it's needed, you will see that you don't have to pull the pork to make it pulled pork. But just touching it, it will
Follow.
melt butter. Okay, so let me see. We'll do this first. So here I'm gonna put the condiments. Wait, I'm gonna do first the liquids. So this is orange juice. This is lime juice, but I put an extra little bit of orange juice because I didn't have enough to make another cup. And the oil. Okay. Trying to save the mess that I did here. This was the salt and the pepper.
Ariana, sorry,
Yes?
I'm going to have to go because I made a mistake with the time here, thinking it's 10:30. So I've got to be somewhere now in about 10 minutes. So I've got to get into my car and go. You will send us this the presentation.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much. Looks delicious. Thank you.
No problem.
Sorry,
I will
guys.
definitely send you pictures of the aftermath.
All right, lovely. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. See you. Oh, that was nice. And that's here where you put the achiote.
I have to jump to. Thank you, Ariadna. Nice to meet everybody.
Okay, bye. Thank you for joining.
Adriana, I have to go. I have repairmen still here. I'm sorry, I've been in and out and I was late.
No
But
problem. No problem.
I'm very excited. Oh, shoot, they're coming in the house. All right, I gotta go. Bye, sweetie. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
I think that was Michelle, right? Couldn't say from here.
Yes.
So this is the color he gets. Okay.
Ariadna,
Yes.
making it in a crock pot, is that, do you always do that, or is
What
is
do
it
you
better
mean?
than doing it in the oven, or?
Yes, you can do it in the oven. Yeah, definitely.
Is
in
it
the
better in a crock pot?
In the recipe shows in the oven, and I'm just showing it how to do it in the crock pot. But in the recipes, I actually explain how to do it in the oven.
Okay, but it's not any better, it's in the crock pot, or it's just easier maybe, or?
I think with a crock pot, you are for sure that you don't have to be checking the meat, and by itself, it will melt away.
Mm-hmm.
In the oven, you have to be careful that you don't, I don't think there's something like overcooking the meat, to be honest. I'm just putting a little bit at a time. Actually, you have to rub the meat with it, because I'm not doing any holes to the meat, but this is, you know, tender, so it should be good enough. In the oven, you have to make sure that that it's not to be, instead of saying overcooked, I would say that it's not, that it's, when you see that it's not coming apart, it's not ready yet, let's say.
So would you just cook it longer, or?
Yeah, if you touch it, if you put a fork in the meat and you still see that it's not like buttery, kind of like, it's not ready yet. That's how I meant.
So what temperature would you do that in the oven? Very low then, or?
Yeah, I do it in 175, 145, depends on how your oven is. If you have a really potent oven, I will do 145, 150. If you have just a regular kind of oven, 175 should be okay.
And then check it regularly.
I'm sorry?
And then check it regularly.
Yeah, I will, at least for the first 2 hours and a half, I will not touch it. Because I think the least that you bother, the better. And then at the end is when you have to really check on how it goes. If you do it in the oven, you put it in a thing like this, right? And what they do is they do like an au bain marie. They put water around it.
Yeah.
So. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna save some of this because I have more meat. And I think it's always good to save. You can save this in a jar up to a month in the thing. I don't know if you could see it. Can you see?
Yeah. Ariadna, does it make a big difference if you don't do the banana leaves? If you just put it
you
in
can
a...
do without the banana leaves, but then it's not gonna be Cochinita Pibil. That is something else. Definitely.
No, it's just that here in the suburbs, I don't think I can find banana leaves.
Do you go to the Carrefour in Scotland, the big one?
Sometimes, yes. They have...
Across there's a international Vinco. That's where I buy my banana leaves.
Oh, okay. On the Breda Baan then.
Yeah, yeah. It's really like if you drive further to, like if you're going to, what is it? Those winkles there. There's like an Aldi and a Siena and a Veve.
Oh, so direction of Merksem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in front of that, that's where the international winkle is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's where also I get those strange seasonings.
But they're frozen, Ariadna?
The banana leaves that I like to buy, they're frozen. They're the ones that are too fresh. I don't know, they're like almost paper. And the moment you touch it, it's like it's breaking. So that's why I prefer the frozen ones, because it gives the flexibility in the banana. I don't know.
Do you think like at Sun Wa they would have that?
Yeah, yeah, the banana leaves definitely. And this one, definitely they will have. Because
Okay.
this is Philippines. This and if not in the presentation, I'm sharing the how to do it with when you don't have it, when you don't have achiote. You have the,
I'm gonna order it from the cute guy with the spice store, so I'll have some.
yeah, I'm gonna add actually that link. I'm gonna add it.
Yeah.
Where's that spice store, by the way?
I don't know, it's online, but it's really, he was a student and it was a hobby, and now he has a business, he said, and they package everything really cute and they send you a little handwritten letter and it's cute. I like it.
Oh, that's nice. Will they have also American things?
Yeah, it's spices, so yeah.
I just checked, they have a lot.
Yeah, it's a really nice store. They have all kinds of like odd peppers and stuff. I needed some specific peppers and they had them.
Would it help if I add the link? Because I saw the Venezuelan one, the lady that made the recipe has a video made in English, I believe so. I found yesterday one Puerto Rican also explaining in English. And definitely I can show you, put a link of the Mexican one, if that would help.
Yes.
And definitely I will share because I'm gonna put my crock pot now, and because I'm doing several things to share with the family. We're not getting together, but I'm just delivering. Is there any more questions?
So Ariadna, once it's ready, so you serve it like in tacos, or because that's the only way I know how to do. But are there other ways to eat it or serve it, or?
Yeah, you have many things you can do. You have the arepas, which is the Venezuelan ones. It's like a corn, maize, corn dough kind of bread. I can do a demo again. It's just like a bread, and then you can do also in a bread like a sandwich. Instead of a hamburger, you have that pulled pork. But like, for example, the Venezuelan dish is pulled meat, so shredded beef with rice and beans. Why not do it with pork?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what else.
Adriana, I have a question. How do you get the skin to become crispy? In Spanish, it's called cuerito. How do you do that? I always have a problem when I'm making.
So for example, you have the meat, and you cook it for 3 hours in a really, really low. The lowest you can, the longest, that's the best, because then it really becomes like a butter. It's unbelievable. Like I've done it all the ways. Like if I do it 3 hours exactly, and then exactly on the temperature, sometimes it's not exactly. So it depends on the weather, how it's the weather at the moment. Like right now it's really cold. So I will go really for the lowest with the longest time. So when you reach that point that you know that the cook some people use a thermometer. So I don't have a thermometer. So if I would have a thermometer, then you know when the meat is cooked inside. But since I don't have that, for me, the way to know is that you pinch on the meat and it's still too hard. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait. And then you try to dig a little bit, because in the points, it will be cooked, but inside it will not be cooked. So you have to go like in the middle point and see that it's, when you touch it, that you see it's a bit too hard, then it's not ready yet. Wait, be patient and wait until you see that it's really like a buttery. When you reach the point, then you uncover it, and then you have to change your oven to broil, or is that correct to say it?
Broil, yes.
Yeah, and then you put it on maybe even higher. If the cuerito is too big, I will even put it, instead of leave it in the middle, we'll put it a bit higher, and then you leave it for 15-20 minutes on a higher speed, on a higher. So let's say you are in 175, and let's say you go to 180, 185 for 15 minutes. But that's the moment that you really have to, like Rita say, really check, and then you're there. Because if you go away and then it could get burned. You have to be there, and you have to be patient, because then, for example, for the Venezuelan, I know you have to, because it's really liquidy, you have to get a spoon, so that this one, for example, you put it in the fridge and it's gonna come like a, I don't know, hard. It will look like a paste after you take it from the fridge. When you put it in the oven, it's gonna become really liquid, and there's gonna be a lot of aromas coming in your house. Right now it's already smelling a lot because of the garlic, right? But then you have to put with a spoon marinade. That's why in the Puerto Rican version you see that you have the marinade and you have for the meat. So the meat, you rub it, and then you have this marinade. Then you have to put it over the meat when you're broiling it. So that's really important when you're broiling it, that you're giving the meat a bath. It's imagine that you're in a bathtub. You're really warm on the top, and your body is cool when you're in the water, but up you're like sweating. So that's why you have to put water over to give it that golden color. So the whole combination of the bathing the meat and the broil and the whole 9 yards, that's what makes it that.
I see.
That chicharrón kind of texture that's
So
everybody loves, right? It melts in your mouth.
So you put the meat in the fridge for 24 hours with the marinade, and you take it in the same I don't know the word in English, the thing where you put it in, you put it in the oven, in this container where you put it in.
I think this one is ready to go, but I will take some of the juice out, because otherwise it's gonna overflow in my oven. So half of it I will put in a jar.
Okay.
Or maybe a jar full of this thing, because it's gonna sweat, and sweat means that it's gonna a lot of vocht. Oh my God, I'm forgetting English.
Liquid.
Yeah, a lot of liquid is gonna come out. So then half of the liquid, or like a jar, kind of like a 250 milliliters, I don't know to be exact, but just like a jar, you fill it in. You don't put it completely like that, right? This one, let me see, look. This one is a bit more dry. This one I will not take anything out. I will just leave it like that. This is the Puerto Rican one. I'll just cover it with aluminum foil, cover it really good that doesn't leak. Make sure that you put a tray underneath if you think it's gonna leak. This happens a lot, because it's a lot of humidity that's gonna come out. That's probably an answer to Laura. That's why I like the crock pot, is because it's less messy.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Sorry, the onions are getting into my eyes, and then I'm like crying here.
Ariadna, for the Venezuelan recipe, with the ingredients, there's also ingredients for the sauce.
Yes.
So you make that afterwards, or when it's
afterwards? Yes. So
But that would be in your PowerPoint also, or
Yeah, the ingredients is there, and I will share you because she also have the video, so you can see on the video how she does the sauce afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like a gravy. It's like when you do turkey and then you do the gravy with whatever it's left over from the turkey.
Ah, okay. Yeah, then I don't need that. I don't like gravy.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know why she's using moscatel. Then I thought, oh yeah, it's the gravy. So I don't use it either, because for me the sauce that it's already from the meat, it's already good enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jana, you don't have questions? That's so weird.
Oh yeah, I have a very, very important question.
Yeah.
What time are we coming over tomorrow?
Who is going to eat all
By
that?
4, I'm doing deliveries. Do you want some? I can definitely bring some to all of you. Definitely. For sure.
Will you bring some to Singapore as well? That would
Oh
be nice.
yeah, that I would love to come to Singapore. But COVID is not letting me right now.
Oh. Okay, put me on the address list. Are we coming to Brussels?
Well, I have to pass through Brussels in order to get to the rain, I think.
Okay, I'll send the address.
Please do. Yeah.
It's great to see you. I'm gonna actually sign off. I was just about to type it in, but I'll just say it. It's always good to see you, and looking forward to reading the recipe and trying it out. I'll let you know.
Super.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Ariadna.